Hi, Impact families. If you're anything like me, this particular season of the year has always been busy. I mean, it's the holidays after all, and there's a lot going on. There are family events, maybe work events, parties with friends, stuff at the school, errands to run, and oh, yeah, we can't forget presents to buy, right? It can be hectic, chaotic, and exhausting. And if we're honest with ourselves, for most of us, it's not just the holiday season that can feel like that. In a lot of ways, life can feel like that. When it comes to this particular season, the holidays, I would encourage you to maybe do something that you don't normally do. I would hope that you would value rest. That's right, rest. And I don't just mean sleep rest. I don't just mean Netflix binge rest or scroll on your phone rest. The end of the time of the year vacation rest. I mean Psalms 46:10 rest. You know, this is one of my favorite places in scripture. And it says, "Be still and know that I am God." What if you could let go of the need for everything to get done, for everything to be perfect? And what if you could embrace a rest that focuses on God and His love for you? Man, what would this season of your life look like if all the things that the world tells us are important just faded to the background and you didn't run yourself and maybe even your family ragged? Come on, am I talking to anybody other than myself? You can still have Christmas and buy presents and enjoy gatherings. But what if you took some time and emotional energy that you normally put into the craziness of the holidays and you just rested? What if Emmanuel, God with us, was just enough? You know, our kids, they'll be out of school, they'll be home out of school soon, and we should take some time to slow down and enjoy it. Make the most of that time. Make the most of that time and maybe focus on some simple traditions you can create for you and your family so your emerging young adults will experience the holidays in a different way. And this holiday season, let's model for our teens a different way of living and show them that the most important thing we can do is to love God and love others. And then when we head into a more normal time of life, whatever that may look like, we can step into some practices that will allow you to experience real rest. And I believe that there is a peace that comes from resting in God. And this is a peace that is bigger than anything we could ever manufacture on our own. So let me ask you a question. Do you value the Sabbath? Now, most of us, when we think of the Sabbath, we think of a Sunday, right? We just think about Sunday, we take time off and we go to church. But what if we embrace the biblical concept of Sabbath? A regular period of time in your life, say weekly, where you need to rest in God and who He is. Sabbath is a way of remembering and expressing the truth that God is our creator and deliverer and sustainer. We are dependent on Him for all we have in the world and for the strength we need to lead in the way He has called us to lead in our families. Let's make space for Sabbath in our lives and maybe lead our teenagers into a practice of Sabbath. They need it as well. They need rest, and again, not just sleep rest, but they need to learn the value of resting in God and the fact that He loves them. They need space to embrace who He has created them to be and experience the peace that comes with that. And speaking of space, do you have a space or a place where you can get away from the hectic pace of life and just sit? This is my home office where I study, prepare notes. But more than that, it is a place where I can step out of normal life in the house and both physically and mentally be somewhere else. Find a spot where you can simply sit and rest in God. Sometimes just sitting and resting in God may feel unproductive, but that's okay. Tending to your soul is never unproductive. And the reality is that if we neglect our soul and we don't learn how to rest in God, who He is and who He has created us to be, it is very possible and maybe even likely that the things of this world are going to crush our soul and lead us to a place of emptiness, loneliness, and despair. So let's learn to be still and know that He is God. Take time this season to slow down and receive God with you. Learn how to rest and model rest for your children and make a true Sabbath become a normal and part of your life. If you do this, your heart will be in a much better place, and you just might be able to live in the peace that God has for you. So from my family to yours, I wish you a blessed Christmas. I pray that you all in this season will learn how to rest and create a Sabbath, create a place or a space where you can just get away from the everyday busyness and rest in God. You all be blessed, and until next time, we love you.